Hello friends, a little later than advertised, here's another tournament report. They're so popular right now. I've got loads of videos I want to do, but I wanted to get this out of the way because I've got a friend coming to play a game and we're going to film it next week. I've also got some Clash of Kings videos to record and some hobby videos to record. I just don't have enough time in the day. So, this is a tournament report from a tournament I went to last month, I want to say. I can't remember when. It's a few weeks back, which is run by my lovely friend Andy. And he has the TT tournaments, which I believe stands for Total Toss. And this is number 3. It's beginning to look a lot like zombies. Andy, you would have seen, I did the zombie battle report with him. He likes zombies. Anyway, it's a Christmas themed tournament. It's 1994. No, it's not even 1995 points. Why does it say that? It's 2,000 points. I would change that for the titles. Can't bother to change it now. I'm just going to write it on the screen. Here, 2,000. You will see I have managed to renew my PowerPoint subscription. So the big yellow pointer is gone. Sorry to John Guns who preferred it. Anyway, 2,000 points, 3 games. Move on before it says 2,000. Anyway, we've got a special hero called Shambler Claus, who is like a Father Christmas model. You'll see my Father Christmas model. He's a monster. 50 mil base, melee 4 rather, movement 6, range 4, height 3, 4 attacks. Defense 5-14. He's got Crush 3, Shambling, which means if you're taking an Undead army, you can surge him. Life Leech 2, Stride, and he's got some special rules, which means he can either do 4 ranged attacks, a 12-inch ranged attack with no piercing, or cast Heal 4. And when issued with a charge order, he gains Rally 1, which I forgot completely until the last game when someone else used it against me, and I was very sad. Anyway, moving on. This was my list. I'm taking Undead. I'm taking Undead specifically because Hongwin Soon keeps making me feel guilty about not playing Undead because I say they're really good. And so he's like, well, why don't you play them then? So I said, all right then. So I am. Excuse me. So we have a regiment of zombies. These are all borrowed models. None of the models, I think a couple of the models are my own, but a lot of them are borrowed. A lot of them are proxies. So you're going to just bear with me. So a regiment of zombies. And a horde of revenants who I've kept at defense 5. I did toy with making them crush 1, but I like defense 5 on a horde. I think it's strong. 2 troops of wraiths. 2 soul reaver regiments. Still good. If you think they're not good anymore, you're wrong. Still good. 20 attacks on crush 2 with melee 3 is gross. One of them's got Chalice of Wrath. You can forget that immediately because I did for the whole game and they weren't ever wavered, so. A horde of wights with the boots of striding, which I think is how they come now, just auto-equipped. A troop of revenant cavalry, still, the best chaff, not the best chaff, second best chaff. Behind gargoyles or phantoms, third best chaff. Move on. A Lich King with Drain Life and Veil of Shadows. I like this loadout a lot. It means he's got something to do every turn. Veil of Shadows 3 is exceptional. And his little mobile Drain Life caster, which I think is really good. I got a Cursed Pharaoh with wings, which again I think is how he comes. And I gave him Knowledgeable, which increases his spell level by 1 and allows him to take Host Shadow Beast. And he comes naturally with Surge 5. I thought this was a great idea because it means that Spellcaster 2 he gets an extra 4 attacks. So he has 9 attacks, melee 3, kind of Crush 2 and Crush 3. And he's really, really good. Gotta be honest, he did disappoint me a little. Not quite as good as I thought he might be. He's still good, just not quite sure he's 225 points good. But, hey, how'd it go? The new Undead's Army Standard Bearer, who comes with Wild Charge for Skeletons, which is fun. And he's very inspiring. Boo-hoo, Kingdoms of Men. And Morgoth the Mandatory. He's mandatory again, because as well as this ridiculous spell loadout, he's still flying, but now he can go twice. He can go at the double and then cast 2 spells, which is very silly. And he's cheaper than the Pharaoh. Morgoth's great. 2,000 points, let's go. So, game 1 was a challenge against the famous Richard Miles, the most positive man in Kings of War. Richard is a lovely human, if you meet him. I'm not saying he's not lovely online, but he's very pleasant face to face. And we'd never played, and he said, I want to play you. And I said, let's do it, bro. I didn't say bro. Anyway, he was playing Abyssal Dwarfs rather than his traditional Orcs. And this was his Abyssal Dwarf list. So he has the second best chaff in the game. Gargoyles, Trooper Gargoyles up here. Then he has 2 regiments of half-breeds. So half-breeds have been upgraded. So now they are 15, 17, 16 attacks, melee 3. Still only defense 4, but they're Crush 1, Thunder 1, Vicious, Fury and Regen, and Elite on these ones because he's given them Blessing of the Gods. Proper hammers, expensive though. And then even more expensive, 2 hordes of Grotesques. They've got 18 attacks, they're 16, 18. They've got a lot of everything. Brutal, Crush Strength, Thunderous, Fury, Strider, Life Leech. I don't think they're worth the points, personally speaking. I think they're fearsomely expensive for what you get. What are they compared to whites? Whites are 260. 260 for whites and 250 for Grotesques. I just think whites are better. Melee 4, that's what bothers me. Anyway, 2 Mastiff hunting packs, both with throwing Mastiffs, because Abyssal Dwarfs like to copy Free Dwarfs. 3 Katsu-chan rocket launchers. Now, originally he was trying out Katsu-chan rocket launchers, and if you're going to try something out, why not take 3, am I right? They are the weaker of the Abyssal Dwarf war engines because they are only piercing 1. They are still vicious. They have 4 attacks, which is the upgrade. They're still plus D3, so still pretty good, but they do hit on 5s, which is less good. And they have the new rule, secured position, which means they can score. He's got the Health Thane, and he's given it the Abomination Ironcaster Overseer upgrade, which gives it, I think this is an aura. He's got an aura of Brutal for dwarves anyway. And a life, I think this is Life Leech +1 for Abominations, maybe. Aura? Is that typo? Who knows? He's got a little heal battery, Ironcaster, just for healing, with heal 5. And Brachybarker, who is terrifying for my army, because he is very mobile, he's very killy, and he's got this Badoom. I think Badoom gives him... Does it give him... I have no idea. I could look it up. Should we look it up live while I'm talking to you? Let's do that. I'm going to open the Mantic Companion. Available at all good companions near you. Here we go. Best Dwarfs, here we go. Badoom, Badoom, Badoom. Oh, come back. Here we are. Brachybarker, Badoom. He has both very inspiring and dread. That's the rule, is it? Oh, it kind of sucks as a rule. I thought it was something better than that. Never mind. Anyway, he's 200 points, and I'm scared of him. So... this is the battlefield. Forgive our miniatures, strewn all over the place, but we have height, I think 6 or 9 forests. It did say on the table. It doesn't ever come into the game. They're big. These are rough terrains. This is a height 9 obstacle and another one. There's 2 height 3 hills, a little wall here, and there's another wall somewhere. Here's the other wall, down here. Alrighty. And you can see my army here. So these are my whites. This is Shambler Claws. This little lady here is actually the Pharaoh. That's my standard bearer. This one is Morgoth today. We've actually got some Revenant Cavalry that are Revenant Cavalry. Thank you to Russell for lending them to me. These are my Soul Reavers, and these Phantoms will today be Wraiths. Okay, they kind of look Wraith-like. I think that's completely acceptable. If you don't, get stuffed. Over here are some Zombies and Revenants, but they look like they should look like. So, we are playing Salt the Earth for this game. Salt the Earth is the one where you can burn objectives. So you put the objectives down before you choose sides, and then there's 3 each, and you can burn them apart from the one in the centre if you control them from turn 1. So there's one up here, and there's one here. There's also one down here, okay, behind this rock. There's one behind this forest. There's one here, and there's one all over there. You can just see the edge of it right there. Okay, so that's the 6. And I think Richard wins sides, and he chooses that side. Here is his groin. Noble as it is. Okay, so, and this is how we deploy. So, Richard deploys very heavily. We kind of, they call it the toilet bowl, don't they, these days? He spreads his rocket launchers out, which I'm not sure I agree with. I think if you've got a battery, what you should do is use it to area deny, because he's going to have to split shots with them now. Whereas I think if you put them together, like just in the woods here, anything that comes up this centre is just going to get blarted, right? Because 12 shots on 5s is, pretty much 4 hits a turn, D3. Yeah. Whereas this way he's kind of split them. So there's one here, and one here. Right? And this one's on a token. This one's also on a token, by the way. The Hellfane is here. It's actually there. It's on a base, but it's too big to fit. This is his Shamble Claws. These are obviously the Grotesques with the dogs behind them. There's his little healer. There's the Gargoyles, and he's put all his other stuff over here, which I was kind of really cool with because I was putting all my stuff over here. So my plan with this was I was going to put my my Wraiths here on this token. I was going to burn it. My Zombie Regiment is over there on the other token. I'm going to burn that one as well. And then I'm going to come hard up this flank, and I'm going to get this one, and the centre. That's my plan, right? Excuse me. And I don't really care what happens to this one or this one. I think he'll burn them. So I deployed very heavily on this side, so I put my my Wraiths here behind this blocking terrain. Here's the Horde of Revenants, and Soul Reaver. So very hard. I'm going to put my Revcav right up on this hill to look down this way. Over here, he's just got a single Catachan rocket launcher, which is not enough to kill a troop of Wraiths and a mummy, a flying mummy. Flying mummy's going to come all the way up here, and then either the Wraiths are going to go in or come this way, and then the Wraiths will either sit on this one or this one if he doesn't burn it. And then everything else will come around here like that. These guys are going to take a long time. They have to kill my zombies, and B, they're then going to spend a lot of time coming around, by which point this token will be gone. So, plan. There's Jan! Hi, Jan! And there's Richard. Look how happy he is. Look at his happy little face. Anyway, so I lose first turn, and off he cracks. So, he just kind of plummets down. So, he's had to send a whole regiment of his half-breeds after a zombie regiment, which I love. He's also sent Brachybarker down there, and the Gargoyles are coming down to kind of play with Wraiths. That's pretty cool. That's just showing some shooting, I think. Yeah. Yeah, 1 point of damage. It is showing shooting. I'm so great. That's onto these guys. So 1 point of damage there, which is not a worry. 4 points of damage, though, onto the zombies, which is a worry. But he doesn't roll the requisite 10 once to get rid of them, which is a relief. It's onto my turn. So I simply sidestep the zombies, and I've burned the token, obviously. I turn my Wraiths, so the Gargoyles can't see them. They're going to have to come round and then play with Wraiths. And everything else just comes forward as previously planned. So I shoot forward the mummy, ready to come and play with rocket launchers next turn. These guys are here as well. I've got my Whites just touching the hill, ready for these guys. Now I have tempted him to charge my Revenant Cavalry with his Abyssal Grotesque, in which case they're just going to get eaten by everything. I don't think he'll do that, but it was fun to try. Yeah, and there's the heal, so 1 point of damage there. Shamble Claws chose to heal this turn, and off they go. On to turn 2 for the Abyssals, so this is how the battlefield looks. So he decides to take Brachybarker and the Grotesque in here, really just to get Brachy down here so he can come across, which is fair. Maybe just to punish me for daring to kill the token. Gargoyles come around here to play with Wraiths. Nothing more they can do there. And everything else. He doesn't take my bait. What he does instead is come forward and jump his dogs in front so they can shoot some dogs this way and try and get rid of my cavalry. He's only left a little bit of base here, so there's not enough for anything. I can't get these guys in. These guys can't get it. So I think he's probably playing quite sensibly there. And he's just kind of holding ground until these guys can come round. So yeah, dogs go. They don't do very well. Only 2 points of damage on the Revcav, so we're okay. Of course, the zombies explode into zombie-sized pieces. So on my turn, I decide to spring the trap because I don't care. Basically, the Revenants and the Revcav are all chaff. Really big chaff, but still chaff. So we come in Revcav into the dogs, and the Revenants into this edge of this kind of grotesque horde here. Everything else is kind of sitting here waiting to pounce. And up on the right hand side, the mummy has decided to play with the rocket launcher because he can still triple his attacks. With his Shadow Beast, that's 27 attacks. It's pretty good. Oh no, that never triples, does it? Oh, shame. It's 15 attacks from his normal hits, plus 4. Still a lot. And these guys are preparing to sit on this token for the rest of the game. Now I come in here. Excuse me. Got a bit of a cough. It's not very good for old YouTube, is it? So yeah, showing that. off we go. This yellow token means Veil of Shadows, by the way. I've got Morgoth here supporting as well. Morgoth's great. He just zooms up. So now we've got Bane Chant and Life Leech going on. And we kill the gargoyles, which is hilarious because now I'm out of charge range of everything. Maybe Brachybarker can get in. I think Brachybarker can get in, but I wasn't particularly worried. I was like, go on in. I'll keep the token for another turn. So here we go. I keep that token. He has to deal with them. If I leave it here, he can't ignore this Wraith Troop, which I think is very funny. So, yep, we did 5 points of damage from these Revenants, which is not bad for Revenants. And we killed the dogs and overran into it as well. So now we're kind of just sitting up against them. A little bit of Life Leech help there. And we killed the Gatjam rocket launcher. So that's he did burn the token up there. So, but I'm gonna bomb it down this way now, obviously. Yeah, in his turn. So there was a bit of shenanigans. He couldn't get the Hellfane in, which was annoying for him because he's got Santa Claus in the way, or Shambler Claws. Even if Shambler Claws, because Shambler Claws is in the flank of these Revcav, he can't come in here. He has to charge the Revenants. There is no way for the Hellfane to get into. He's kind of blocked himself up, which is something I do a lot as well, which is annoying when it happens to you. It's great when it happens to your opponent. So Shambler Claws and these Grotesques go into the Revenants, and these Grotesques go into the Revcav. And everything else is just coming round. And then Brachybark. That's a rocket launcher. And he burns the token by the rocket launcher because he's realised that Morgoth is just going to eat it, or the mummy's going to eat it, so he just has to burn it. So away it goes. That's heal. So heal from his little Ironcaster here. Heals up these Grotesques. And Brachybarker comes in. 2 wounds from Brachybarker, which is, well, it's terrible, isn't it? But, he tried. So 9 wounds there is substantially more, but they are a dash bajillion, so they're okay. However, the Revcav did not like being eaten by Grotesque. 6 wounds, and they just died. So this is how we look. In my turn 3, I want to say. So, this is a lot of pain. This is 38 attacks on 3's Crush 2. They're going to come in here. Yeah, fun. So what I did, I took Shambler Claws rather than try, because he positioned his half-breeds here so I couldn't see them with my Soul Reavers here, which is annoying. And also Shambler Claws is out of range. Now I don't want these guys coming in messing with me, so instead Shambler Claws and the Revcav, because Shambler Claws is taller than Revenants. Shambler Claws is taller than the Revenants, and the Revenants have only got 1 turn of life left anyway before they're eaten. Multi-charge this Abyssal Horde. Now because Hordes are big, what he does is shove them down, so now my Soul Reavers can come up and turn without fear of being charged, because these guys don't fit through the gap, which is rather nice. So I've got some supporting Drain Life here, some Drain Life here. This guy's come over here. All a world of pain on those Grotesques. Let's see how we do. We countercharge. We do burn the token. Now we decided, yes, we've got these guys going to come around. We're going to die. We better get rid of that one. 2 wounds there. Absolute world of hurt from all of those. And it's turn 4. So I don't. How much wounds do I do here? Like 6? Seems low. Anyway. So, yep. So, Bracky decides that he doesn't need to play with Wraiths anymore. So, he just turns and sods off over here to kind of play in the back lines here, which is where I didn't want him. But there you go. Can't do anything about that now. And instead, a regiment of half-breeds come to deal with this pesky Wraith troop, who've life leached back down to 1. Yeah, so the Revenants aren't going to last very long, are they? So, heals the Grotesque. Oh, they regen. That's right. Regen down to 4. We've got a flank going on and a front going on. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Painful. Shambler Claws comes into these guys. Now, what does the Hellfane do? What does the Hellfane do? I think the Hellfane's stuck. He's stuck. Yes. So I position my Wraiths on the reform so that their line of their base is blocked by the Soul Reavers. And the Soul Reavers are in the front for this Hellfane. And because Shambler Claws is still in the way, he can't get out of the way to allow the Hellfane to charge. I thought this was rather clever. So Shambler Claws takes on the Soul Reavers, and this Hellfane comes around to kind of take a front charge from the Wraiths. Whites, I'm so sorry, Whites. And my Shambler Claws is just kind of hanging around, looking at his lovely presence. That's heal, so down to 1 now. So all those wounds have gone away. 6 down to 1. Tell you what, these wraiths are having the best day ever. 3 wounds there. They were hindered coming out of the woods, these half-breeds, but still not great. However, yes, the Revenants do die a death, as you'd expect, but now it's time for some more fun for me. 1 point of damage from Shambleclaws there onto those Soul Reavers, and they are cross. So here we go. So I decided to ignore the Hellfane. I'm like, well, Hellfanes are fun to punch, but I don't want to. And so instead, we just kind of run. We say, you can have these Soul Reavers to eat. How's that? So Morgoth pops over here. Where's the... Oh, and so does the mummy, the flying mummy. We decide these grotesques just need to die. So we go Whites, Mummy, Morgoth, and Shambleclaws into them. So that's not good. Morgoth doesn't attack them, obviously. He's going to drain life and Bane Chant. We send the Soul Reavers into these half-breeds. With some drain life support from the White Lord. And then we countercharge Shambleclaws here. So that's what we do. We're just hanging out, just chilling over here on this token. Thanks very much, 1 point. That's my... Is that no wounds? Did I do no wounds? That looks like no wounds, doesn't it? That's not great. I think I cock it up. Whatever. Oh, that's Bane Chant. Nice Bane Chant there. Thank you very much. And some drain life, so they're up to 3 again. And some more drain life, so we're just draining all over the place. There you go. Why? So why did I show you that before? Maybe I was just showing you that I countercharged. Nice. So 3 wounds onto them. They don't really care. They've lost their Thunderous, but, you know, they're going to probably eat me next turn. Which is fine. To be honest, this Wraith troop has lasted way longer than it should have done. And it's taken 3 or 4 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds. Yeah, legends. So Soul Reavers do what Soul Reavers do. And turn half-breeds back into literal half-breeds. Because I've chopped them in half. See what I've done there? And then, yes, much death. Lots of death in the centre. Not great. So we reform like this. So the mummy overruns and hits his little fella. Oh, he doesn't. I think he's next to him. Anyway, the point is we're all out of the line of sight of that little unit of dogs. Not that the unit of dogs is particularly scary. 7 wounds on the Shambleclaw. So these Soul Reavers don't do what Soul Reavers do. Boo to them. On to turn 5 for the Abyssal Dwarfs. Not looking great. There's one up there. That's exciting. What was that about? Can't remember. So, yep, counter charge here, flank and front and Brachybarker. He's like, you just have to die now. You're going to get stuffed. So they all go in there. The dogs turn around to throw dogs at things. That's what they do. There's some heal going on there. So he heals Shambleclaws down to 3. That's some dogs onto my whites. I didn't particularly care. He does finally kill the race, though. Yay! Way too late. And there's a double one. Maybe I had a double one the last turn. I don't think so. Anyway. Yeah. That sucks, doesn't it? That really sucks. That felt bad. That's 21 wounds. 21 wounds and a double one onto my Soul Reavers. Yeah. So the next turn is going to be a very unpleasant turn. There is a lot of flanking. Everyone's on proxy bases by this point. So this is a rear charge onto Shambleclaws by Soul Reavers. A flank and a mummy into the Hellfane. Flanked by whites. I think we counter charge. Oh, and then Shambleclaws goes into Brachybarker. And I think I also charge him with these guys. That's Drain Life from Morgoth. And they're wavered. The dogs. A double drain life, actually, because the White Lord also... White Lord? What are they called? Lich King. Sorry. The Lich King and Morgoth drains. And then Banes as well. And there you go. So I think, yeah, so the Soul Reavers also countercharge Brachybarker. 11 wounds. And I double one him in return. So there you go. Double ones all over the place. Everything else dies, though. So it's not that nice. Everything else is dead. Apart from his war engines and these guys who are kind of like shambling around the corner. Hey guys, we've killed the Wraiths. Are you proud of us, guys? Yeah, so Brachybarker has got one turn to finish off these Soul Reavers. And then the wavered dogs and then 2 war engines. So, yep. So he counter charges the Soul Reavers. These guys come round. And he kills them. Hurrah! And then we murder everything. So I'm laughing so unpleasantly. So the mummy goes up here into this war engine. The whites come into these dogs. These Soul Reavers come into Brachybarka. And I finally remember that I'm playing Undead. And I move Shambler Claws over here, and then I surge him in. Hooray! Surge. Everything's dead. Dead. And that's the end. So yeah. Very decisive victory. Some help by some very lucky dice rolls. From deployment, and plus my Wraiths just not dying at the bottom really, really helped. But I was pretty pleased about how that went. Undead, very, very malleable, very useful force. The force multiplier of all that drain life is just exceptional. Exceptional when you've got these kind of hammers. And I'm all defense 5 against piercing 1, which is very useful as well. So great game. I love playing Richard. Really, really lovely guy. He's so genial in defeat. He was just like, yeah, oh, cool. Plus I turned up like 20 minutes late because there was a traffic jam. Anyway, he was very, very good about. So yeah, on to game 2. Okay, we are into game 2. And game 2, I come up against Jan. Jan's one of the most awesome people in the world. She's absolutely fantastic. She is chair of the Masters Committee, and she helps me run Clash of Kings, and I love her very much, and she's just brilliant. As is Bob, her partner. So I was running around at lunchtime because I've got a stupid electric car that needed charging up because we were miles away from my house. So I ended up being 20 minutes late for this game as well. So sorry to Jan. Bit of a theme, me running around like a mad person. Anyway, so we turned up 20 minutes late and we just cracked in. It was all good fun. So this is Jan's Salamanders list. So she has 2 troops and a regiment of Salamander primes. Which is kind of, I guess they're just cheap scoring units maybe. 2 hordes of fire elementals, 1 with strength for crushing 3. Come on. And 1 with brew of sharpness. So he's on 3, so that's very good. 2 regiments of Kaisenor Lancers. I think Kaisenor Lancers a little bit more than elementals. 14-16 is poor, I grant you. I don't know, I'm not very good at Salamanders. I very rarely play Salamanders, so it was nice to play them for a change. Crush on Thunder 1. 20 attacks is good, melee 4 is not, so 2 regiments of Scorch Wings. Let's find out if they're good. Allegedly broken. Oh, that's hordes maybe, I don't know. 2 regiments of Ember Sprites, which are nice scouting, shooting chaff. Dash 11, I like Dash 11. A Greater Fire Elemental with Fireball 8. A Mage Priest with Fireball 10 and Surge 8. And a Battle Captain with Path of Fire, which gives him an Aura of Pathfinder for heavy infantry only. Which is, I believe, all of them, isn't it? All of the primes, that is. Yeah, all of the primes. Cool, so they're on our Pathfinder, which is cool. Everything's Pathfinder pretty much, and the whole army apart from the Kaisenor Lancers. Yeah, nice. Well, let's see how we go. So this was our battlefield. Possibly really bad photograph of it. But anyway, as I mentioned, was rushing. So hill and hill. I think I end up on the other side. Well, let's find out. Maybe not. This is a height 9 blocking. Wall, forest. Scrappy forest. What's this? Another forest. Look at this tree. And a rough terrain there. Probably another one. Probably, I think, another rough terrain underneath this box of salamanders. Look, you can even see the scorch wings ready to be broken. So this is how I deploy. I know I end up on this side. Well, there you go. Good for me. So what are we playing? Gosh darn it, I wish I could remember. We're playing Invade. I seem to remember. Dominate. It's Dominate. We're playing Dominate. We're playing Dominate. See how I prepared the last game lovingly, and then I got bored and I had a glass of whiskey and I just cracked straight into this one. So cheers. We're playing Dominate. In we go. So I've got this big piece of blocking terrain which I've now got to navigate around like that. So I think Jan chose sides by the look of it. I might even, I don't know. So I've got my Wraiths here ready to hop over. I'm a little bit leery of Scorch Wings, but I think my plan might follow the plan from last time somewhat, a little bit. Let's see how she's deployed, so I know why I'm like this. Right, so look at her Santa Claus, very funny. So she's got 1 regiment of Scorch Wings here, 1 regiment of Scorch Wings here. There's the rough terrain, told you it was there. This is the Greater Fire Elemental. See, it's the previous edition Fire Elemental that's been not rebased. So that's his base. That's where he actually is. Here are some Kaisnor Lancers. Yep. And, well, see, would you put them there? Because there's just... They haven't got Pathfinder. They're the only ones without Pathfinder, right? Because this is Fire Elemental 1 and Fire Elemental 2, who have got Pathfinder. I'd have been tempted to put the Lancers here. I've got no shooting, after all, because they want an unhindered run, don't they? Anyway, we'll see if that has an effect. There's the old priest with his fireball. So there's a lot of fire, 18 fireball there. Here's my troop. Here's her troops of primes with the captain. There's the regiment. Here's the other lancers, Ember Sprites, other Scorchwings. And there's Shambler Claws. So she's clearly aiming to come round with Scorchwings. Shore up the centre and then kind of munch me like this. Munch, 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 munch. Undead for dinner, please. In response, so I've kind of against these guys, I've said, well, you know, you can have Revenants and Shambler Claws, right? So Shambler Claws is here to shoot things like these guys. You can have these Revenants, and I'm probably going to hop my Wraiths in front of them, so you can only charge with one. And then we've got Soul Reaver. It's Soul Reaver time! And then over here, same plan as last time, come up fast, and I've got my supporting characters. Over here, I've got my Mummy ready to come and play with Scorchwings, because I think shooting an individual is bad, and he's very punchy, and he can probably take out a regiment of Scorchwings on his own. Let's see how we go. So Ember Sprites scout up. There we are, scouting. Very aggressive. So she's offered me kind of traps, basically, to say, well, if you charge them, I'm going to charge you. Here, possibly here. And I go, all right. Just like, all right, fine. So these are the ones on the right. I think the ones on the right are less well supported. Because I think they only charge 10 primes. Might be able to surge, maybe. But the Kaisnor Lancers, there's a forest in the way and they're going to be hindered. So these ones are less supportive. So I'm very happy to take that charge. Plus, I do it with Wild Charge on these guys. Yeah, Wild Charge. And it allows me to nicely protect myself because the Wraiths can't be seen. I've got Morgoth to support and I've got my Mummy hiding behind the woods. So pretty happy with that. I win first turn, by the way. I won first turn, yay! Really helps. And that's a lucky waver. Do you know what that is? That's a lucky waver. So, Morgoth comes in here. He can't see the Ember Sprites to drain them. I think it might Bane Charm, but what... yeah, because these guys are height 4, right? Scorchwings. Right. Whoops. Come back. Scorchwings. Height 4. They are height 4, so Morgoth can see them. So what he does is he... what's the thing called? The thing, the spell. Ah, man. You know the spell I'm talking about? Mind Fog. He Mind Fogs them, and I get a lucky waver. So I waver these Scorchwings turn 1, which is devastating for things like the Lancers that are stuck behind them. So that was very, 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 very lucky. And we kill the Ember Sprites. However, because I positioned Morgoth so tight behind him, I can't actually back my Revenant Cavalry up, so it can definitely get charged by things next turn, so that wasn't clever. And then I kill the other ones. I take the bait on both flanks, and I go in with everything. Well, these guys, and I kill them there as well. And I kind of sit in the woods and say, go on then, go on in. So both chaff taken off in the first turn, and now we'll see what's going to come in. Everything, as it turns out. So, Jam makes a little mistake here. So, let's have a look at what it is. So, the only thing she can get in is one of the troops into the Revcav with her captain. So she sends them both in to allow them to get the Pathfinder. Okay, that's good because it's a blocking move. Plus the Fire Elementals are right behind, so they're ready to kind of come in and kick ass. And then over here, she brings the other Scorchwings here, hiding behind the woods, along with the Lancers. The Lancers kind of jump over and turn, ready to kind of support this way. But presenting a flank like this is not a good idea because I'm undead, right? So I'm playing undead, which means I've got Surge, and I've got a lot of Surge, and it's all right here. So that's going to come back to bite her next turn. She doesn't take the bait on this side because this is not a good bet. The Horde is dash 24, very hard to kill in one go. You need flanks. So she kind of plays a little bit more cautiously, which is sensible here. 4 wounds onto the Rev Cav, not enough. Not enough at all. And so off we go. So I decide that I don't want to play the Fire Elementals just yet, please. But I do want to bring my Soul Reavers in. So there's some complicated shenanigans. So first, the Wraiths jumped over to engage these and basically die to these Fire Elementals next turn, which allows me to multi-charge with Rev Cav and Soul Reavers, even hindered, into this troop. Right? So what that means is that my Soul Reavers will be in a lovely position. But if I back up an inch, then these guys won't be able to see them because they'll be blocked here. That's bad drawing. Like that. So back up an inch, you won't be able to see them. The Rev Cav acts as a shield to this way, and then I've got Soul Reavers where I want them. The Whites jump over, and I decide to go for the Scorch Wings in the back. I think Scorch Wings are a better move. And so I've got Morgoth here, and the Mummy here, Flying Mummy. So I've got them here, so I think I need 5 off of 15 dice or whatever it is. So I think I'm pretty confident with that. And then I take Shambler Claws into these Scorch Wings. They didn't do any damage last time, by the way, they're shooting, which is bad times for them. And I just kind of stay here and say, you want to charge me? You charge me, because I've got my other Soul Reavers here ready to pounce. And into turn 2. Oh, this is turn 2. That's what I'm telling you. I just took the dice out of turn. So Shambler Claws absolutely knocks it out of the park. He only got 4 attacks on 4s. But he managed to kill the Scorchwings. I am rolling like an absolute devil. That's not great, is it? So that's a waiver. 2 wounds. I think that's the captain. I think we see the Rev Cav come into the captain then. Okay, well, I waiver him because I'm just that good. But unfortunately, hindered Soul Reavers sometimes are sad Soul Reavers. So 5 wounds. Oh, that's not great. Is that crushed 2? For pity's sake. Anyway, can't even kill a troop of primes. Yeah. Boo-hoo. Anyway, we get the Surge and we do some murdering, and now he's got white in his back line, so that's not what you want. 3 wounds onto those Fire Elementals. They're feeling fine. And I do a cool thing. That's a cool thing, right? What an amazing move. I forgot to tell you about it. I was so pleased and smug. So remember my other Wraiths? Where were they? Let's go back and find them. Here they are, just sitting here casually, just chilling like a villain. So actually that's not them. These are the ones that come into these Fire Elementals over here. I'm so sorry. These ones, so the other guys go woo in here. That's the noise that Wraiths make into these guys, and these guys go, ooh, I can see your priest in the back lines. Ooh. So these guys, stop doing that now. These guys come here, and these other guys come into his priest. So they can't fit here on this side. They can't land here. So they have to. Whoops. They have to turn once, fly, and then turn again to hit him here, and then he turns to face them. Right. So I land here. Brilliant. What a fantastic move that is. Plus, if I kill him, I can overrun into the flank of his Fire Elemental. That would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? It would be if I'd have remembered to do the attacks. I was a bit. We were really rushing because, oh God, we're so late. I was doing all these surgy things, feeling really smug, and I completely forgot to roll these. We were well into Jan's turn when I was like, oh, the priest. She's like, and bless her, she was like, do it. You can do it. And I said, nah, that's ridiculous. I think it was like the second or third thing that I'd forgotten to do in my turn, and she'd let me do the other ones. And I was like, no. I made the mistake. I forgot. Take advantage. Silly old me. Really funny. I was just like, oh no, I didn't do it. Anyway, so having not attacked, the priest backs off, and the Fire Elemental turns around and says, excuse me. So the Lancers coming to the flank, and the Fire Elementals in front of these Wraiths. The Scorch Wings fly over to engage the Whites in the woods, but they're in the front. The troop comes into the Soul Reavers. And the other troops, so down here, whoops, that's the Fire Elemental, so that's the Surge which gets off. Down here, Shambler Claws and these other guys come straight into these Revenants. And you can just see down here the other troop going into the flank of the Revenant Cavalry. So yeah, my advantage is turning away from me, largely because I forgot to roll my attacks. Anyway, so 9 wounds is a lot. over here. From these guys, but they have got 20 attacks. So there you go. Good for them. And yeah, that's what happens. Fire Elemental ate my Wraiths, so sadness. However, fate has once again played a cunning trick upon you. So that is 14 wounds at level 1, which made Jan very sad and made me very happy. So my invincible Wraiths continue to be completely invincible. That troop only has 3 wounds to Soul Reavers because they don't care. And a troop in the flank is only 9 wounds on my Revcav, who are nearly as invincible as the Wraiths. So good times for me. 2 wounds from Sketch, so at least 2 wounds is enough because it stops them flying. On to turn 3, and this is the state of the battlefield. So we are locked in combat. Slightly worrying. So this regiment is ready. So she tried and tried. There was nothing she could do. She's just going to have to take Soul Reavers to the face. Because she's got, I think, Sharpness Fire Elementals to follow up with. So that's not good. These guys need to take care of these guys pretty quickly. But I do have a flank from Shambleclaws here. We've got some invincible troops here that are going to just hold the line. If you'll forgive the pun. It's not that scenario, is it? It's Dominate. Soul Reaver's going to munch here. And then we've got some Soul Reavers ready to come out and munch things. These guys can get munched. And then this is what I'm relying on, really, to win the game. Because these are very scary. So yeah, that is a Drain Life. 2 wounds. It's a good start. And that's... oh, look at there. There's the mummy still hanging around. Went into the flank of these Fire Elementals just to help out. I think it might be... Is that Morgoth's Drain Life? 5 wounds there. Anyway, we totally eat the Kaizenor Lancers because we're cool. Yep. And I don't think I could do any reforming. Possibly with the Horde. Because of where my stuff is. Which is not great. We waver. Oh, that's me charging. Oh, okay. Because of where things were. Obviously, I take the charge. I did say that, right? Yeah. However, best possible result for me is a waver. Because don't forget, scary Fire Elementals sitting on hill waiting to come and eat Vampire. Now can't come and eat Vampire. This could not have been a better result for me. Delighted. Delighted. We eat the troop here, which is good. And we life leech back down to 1. Pretty scared battle captain. He's like, lads, got some vampires. And then we eat the Fire Elementals here, which is superb. But I do have a Greater and another Horde to take care of. Not to mention these guys, just all lots of ouch coming. And we eat the Scorch Wings. So Scorch Wings negated, which is lovely. And now I've got some whites to play with. So, here's what happens. Shambleclaws takes... I do reform the Horde there. I'm not that completely useless. So the Horde does reform. Shambleclaws takes them on. The Fire Elementals can't get in because of how I've positioned my Shambleclaws. So the Fire Elementals have to come and play with Shambleclaws. These guys can't do anything except back up. I think he's going to start fireballing things, perhaps. Did the Lancers charge them? What do the Lancers do? Oh no, they don't. Sorry, I thought this was the Lancers. This is not. It's Revenant Cavalry. So it's obviously a counter charge there. I think I forget to roll this combat. I'm not having a great day. Other Lancers come in here. Fire Elemental is going to start fireballing stuff. And off we crack. What's that showing? Let's just show. Oh, that's just showing. Oh, yeah. So then this guy, she forgot to move this guy. Moving down. So we moved the Mage Priest guy down because it's going to fireball 18. It's going to start zapping stuff. Yep. Again. Invincible Wraiths, I tell you. So they're now on. Was that 12? 16 wounds. Double 1 again. Double 1 again. Not fair, really, apart from anything else. I feel bad. Revcav died. Shambleclaws dies. The Revenants take a little bit of wounds. A little, not a lot, but a little. Onto my turn 4. So we're quite advanced into the combat, given it's only turn 4. So off we crack. Invincible Wraiths go into the Kaizenor Lancers, along with a flank from Whites. The troop gets vampired. The regiment gets vampired. We sent some zombies. Remember zombies? Got them too. The zombies came into the flank of these guys because they had nothing else to do. Nothing else to like take them on. And they're only facing this horde. Who are going to die when they get eaten by them. But we fight Shambleclaws with him. And over here, just to stop the fireballs. Where was the fire? I think, yeah, all those fireballs did one. There's lots of cover and stuff, I suppose. Which doesn't help. But not great, is it? Life leech, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. So the mummy comes into the greater. See what we can do. Morgoth's just hanging around, spelling his way through the game. Zombies do a wound. Let's go, zombies. 2 wounds there. From the mummy. Little cheeky Bane chant. And some drain life, obviously. Drain life and Bane chant. That's drain life onto those fire elementals. 5 wounds, puts them up to 5. Oh no, 1. I'm stupid. It was 1 wound from drain life, and then 4 wounds from zombies. Legends. Let's go. I don't know whose wounds those are. Oh, that was the regiment, who are dead because they got vampired. As did that troop. As did those guys. They didn't get vampired, they got whited because they double won this bloody whites. Who's now life leech down to 13. Look at that. Oh, so that was Morgoth's drain life doing 2 wounds. I'm really good at this, aren't I, battle reporting. Morgoth did 2 wounds there, which healed these guys by 2 wounds. And then the host Shadow Beast attacks, put him up to 6. And then he's still fine. Okay, so what's going to happen? On Jan's turn 4. Yep, Greater Fire Elemental comes into the vampires. Fire Elementals countercharge zombies because I think she looked at it and thought, well, I think it's probably the better choice because realistically this is going to be a slap fight. These guys will be wasted coming in here because they can't kill them in 1 turn. Kill zombies they absolutely can, and then they're in the centre ready to face off, right? The Invincible troop takes on the captain. That's Shambleclaws. Zombies are dead. So we've got 3 wounds. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? You feel like a greater fire elemental should be able to do more than 3. Anyway, yeah, it's pain. Because your captain didn't do any wounds to the invincible wraiths. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. Because he's now going to get eaten by whites. We flank the fire elemental with vampires all over the place. There's just vampires everywhere. A little bit of drain life here. And here. Oh, that's not drain life. That's drain life. And that's drain life. Yeah. Yep. Oh, it was a surge. That's what I was doing. God, man. You know what? I'm glad I didn't look at these beforehand. I'd have been able to do a competent job. So, I moved these invincible wraiths over because I thought I might be able to get a long bomb surge here. Right? Surge, surge. So I surge first. I surge and then drain life. And then I surge. And I get to 1 inch away. Boo! Boo! I just needed 1 more success. But it was a long bomb. Hey, they're up to 7 wounds. On to turn 5, which I don't want to spoil anything, but it is the last turn. And it looks like this. Everything's dead. Oh, this is turn 5. Everything's dead. They're dead. We're all dead. Oh, that's right. He fireballs them off my wraiths. Seems mean. And that's the end. So at the end, that was Jan's turn 5. So we killed a fire elemental here. Whoops. I've lost my pen. So the fire elemental's dead. I think the captain's probably dead as well. It doesn't really matter. Failed my surge here. Because we were so late, Andy was kind of wandering around going, 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, 3 minutes left. So Jan said, well, look, let's not play turn 6 because you've won. I was like, yeah, I have won. And so we didn't play turn 6. And then everyone else played for another 15 minutes. I was like, Jan, we could have finished the game. We didn't though. So we ended on turn 5. But I got, the first game I got was a 20. And this one I got a 19. So still pretty good score. So yeah. 2 good wins. Really fun game. Sorry to Jan for being so late and for rushing and for her getting 2 level 1s. Fun times. Let's go to game 3. Okay, guys. Game 3. And it's a spicy one, as Andy would say. Against Richard and his Ogres. So, this is Richard, who I faced off in the final game of this very tournament the last time it was run. How exciting with his Ogres. And I won that time and won the whole tournament. So I'm on a 20 and a 19, which puts me on table 2. Table 1 has got Tom Robinson on it, who I was beaten by last tournament. and another chap whose name I've temporarily for Paul, a chap called Paul, who he's also playing Undead. Very fast Undead, different list to me. They're on table 1, so perhaps not playing turn 6 has done me a favour. Who knows? But I'm facing off Richard on table 2. And we've also got a chance. So he's got his Ogre list. And it's pretty typical Ogre list, I think. Pretty good. No, is it typical? I don't think it is. Doesn't have the lightning bolt and the sergeants and everything, but it hasn't got Nomagorok. But apart from that, it's 2,000 points. So anyway, still got 2 hordes of siege breakers, which is standard. He's got 2 troops of red goblin and scouts, which I really like. Those are the charging ones, not the shooting ones. Giant with the cleaver, so he's got Slayer. 2 warlocks. They've both got Fireball and Drain Life. And one's got Veil of Shadows, which isn't much use in this game. Fireball over Lightning Bolt, though, is interesting. Kuzlo Madfall, who's way better than people think he is. Just so good. And then the Hell on Wheels formation, because Richard's got some lovely kind of Space Wolf chariot models. He's got Blessing of the Gods on one of his chariots, and he's given the Warlord a Crocodog. So, this is how we are playing Stockpile, the news. Like I've actually gone through this one because I was just like chagrined by myself by being so bad in the last one. I've been through these slides, so I know what happens. Stockpile is a new scenario. Progressive scoring, how exciting. You have 3 piles of tokens in the middle of the board. There's 3 here, there's 2 here, and there's 2 here. You can pick them up 1 per turn per unit. Yeah, and the one with the most tokens at the end of the game wins. So, here are Richard's hands. Excellent. This is how we deploy. So, I deploy badly, I'm going to say. I do not start well. So Richard's got his chariot formation right in the middle. He's only got Kuzlo and 1 Red Goblin scout troop down here. And then all his siege breakers down here. So I feint off with the mummy down here. And he puts all his siege breakers down here. And both his warlocks. I am delighted. Delighted. Because my plans, you can see how I've deployed. I've got this big piece of blocking terrain here. My plan is to go for the centre, obviously, and this one, right? So I've got zombies here, along with one of my invincible wraiths. And then I put the other wraiths facing this way, behind this thing. I'm not really sure why, because he hasn't got any shooting to speak of. And I cluster very tightly around here. So I've got my Revenants here, this is Shambler Claws, and here's the Revcavs. The Revcav and these Soul Reavers are here to face off against these guys coming around. I want to take the chariots onto this Revenant Horde by popping these Wraiths in front of the Rev Horde, right, to allow them to break and then come through with this Ogres. But really, I've not given myself enough room. And in the final moments, as my last deploy, I'm looking at all his stuff. I don't want these things coming down here because the Giant's actually pretty speedy. I put my Whites here, thinking, well, they can come this way. There is no room for them to go anywhere now, which is that's not a great deploy. I'm too tight around here to get things in with a wood because we're going to be shambling out of this woods, right? I think I would have been much better if I had the Revenants like this with these guys here to allow me more room for things to come in here. We'll see how that plays out. So that's how I deploy. And that is, yeah, a table. Turn 1, that's me saying turn 1 maybe. Anyway, I lose turn 1. Here's Richard's army. And he cracks on. So, he comes forward with his siege breakers. So this one siege breaker comes around here. The other siege breaker goes to the double to here. Got both warlocks in a forest. And everything else. This is the giant. It's base because he doesn't sit on his base very well. And everything else is being very threatening as he doesn't need to because these guys are height 4. They can see over this hill. They're fine. So I feint pretty hard and I say, go on then, you can charge into Shambler Claws and my Revenants Cavalry. Because then I can Soul Reaver you and you can see my problem now. So my Revenants have come up and there's not enough room for the Whites and the Soul Reavers and the Wraiths. So I've enacted my plan, but really I could have done with being a little bit further over. Everything else comes forward because I'm not really scared of 1 troop of scouts because Kuzlo has come this way. So, and then the mummy books it this way and run away. So yeah, I just go really aggressively and I surge with Morgoth. Where's Morgoth surging? Here he is. He surges these guys forward because these guys can't hurt him, can't hurt them. And they surge all the way onto a token. Hurrah! I'm 1 up. Anyway, Richard looks at my bait and says, all right then, fine. I will take your bait, and does. Holy. So the giant comes into these cavalry, and the chariot and Kuzlo comes into the flank and front of Shamblerclaws, and then the warlord comes into my wraiths. And this very effectively blocks me up, because now he's got a warlord and Kuzlo against this horde, assuming these guys die. I need them to die this turn so that I've got room to play. And then rather than take on my wraiths, he hops his troop around the side, which would work fine, except for the fact that I've got surge. Only 3 points of damage on the Revenant Cavalry from that giant, who has a bad day. But Shamblerclaws carks it in one go. You see he's picked up a token here. He's also picked up a token with the other Siege Breakers who are all the way over there. And with the troop. So he's got 2 tokens now on that side. So in response, all I can do here is, I sidestep these guys that way. 2 inches, 2.5 inches, which allows these Soul Reavers to come into Kuzlo. So they turn like that and come up here. And then, not wanting double charges on Soul Reavers, because that would be bad, I send my mummy into these chariots up here, hoping I can get my Shadow Beast off and take them down. I'll take off their Thunderous Charge and survive a turn, because nothing else can see him. So the Siege Breakers are facing the wrong way. So I think that's a pretty safe bet at this point. And then we countercharge. There's only 4 wounds here, so these guys didn't die. So I'm still all stuck, but I've managed to make best of a bad situation. Got some Drain Life going on here, so hopefully you can push back here. And you can see I've moved these guys over here. Morgoth has hopped right over the building, and he's going to surge that way. Yeah. It's like that, as you can see, surge. There's a 12-inch surge. And there it is. So our surge goes off, and we get into those scouts. That is Drain. Oh, I Drain Life Kuzlo, because he's defense 4. That made a better sense. So I Drain Life Kuzlo. Nothing to heal. Good Drain Life off 6, 4 damage off 6. We kill the scouts with those wraiths, which is great. Rubbish. 1 point of damage onto the warlord, which is terrible. 2 points of damage onto the giant, which is expected. And then, yeah, disaster. I fail my host Shadow Beast, and he just cocks up his die. He does 2 wounds to the chariot, which is particularly poor. So underwhelming there, but I do kill Kuzlo and I reform like this. So the chariots are in my front. Why do I turn like yay? I think I'm just trying to face this way, maybe. Because I think these guys are definitely going to die and there's nothing else that way. Yeah, so there's nothing else that way. So the chariot's going to have to come down. Turn 3 for the Ogres. So Siege Breaker time into these guys. So the giant, they're going to finish what the giant can't do. He takes the charge here, counter charge here, counter charge here. That's pretty much it. Everything else we want to do. A token here, token here, token here. So he's 3-1 to me right now. So yeah. And I think that might be some Drain Life support onto the wall, onto the mummy, which is not great. And he kills it in a turn, which I was really disappointed by. His whole thing is how durable he is. So clearly not that durable against elite chariots with Drain Life support. So yeah, the mummy dies, which is a bit disastrous really, because now he's got free reign in the backfield and I'm running out of chaff. Even worse, those Soul Reavers die in a single turn to the other chariots. The chariots have an absolute field day. An absolute field day. And Soul Reavers die as well, which I didn't expect. Maybe I should have done. They were coming off a hill. They were crushed like 3 billion. Anyway. I did expect those to die. So now this is a very bad situation. And finally, the wraiths that should have died before die. So everything's dead in the front line. In a single turn, he took off how many units? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4 units in a single turn. That is not a great turn for me. Really, really, really bad. I'm very much on the back foot here. So what do I do in response? How do I fight back? So my wraiths are coming up and the zombies are going to collect all the tokens. So I've got 2 over there. The wraiths are going to be a late flanking force. In order for the whites to get... Because I did this really bad positioning with these whites back here, these guys. They're just in the wrong place, right? I can't get in with enough stuff. Why don't I charge? That's interesting, isn't it? Why do I not charge these guys with this horde? I think they fit. Aha! I know why. So, if the horde had charged here into these chariots, I wouldn't have been able to get the whites in because of my bad positioning, right? They're in the wrong place. I can't charge this horde because you can see where the bases are. I can't get in. And I can't see the giant to charge. So there is nothing for this horde to charge. It's in the flank of this warlord. So if I come into the flank again, the whites can't come in. And I'm hitting on 5s. 5s and 5s is not good, even with 50 attacks. Right? That's going to be what? It's going to be... I can't do maths. Famously can't do maths. Not enough is what it's going to be. It's not guaranteed. Would it have been better? No, it definitely wouldn't have been. It definitely would not have been better to flank, to send these guys into front of the chariots and then flank here. It would have been much worse because then, although the whites might have killed them, the whites would have then died and then my hammer, and I've just got this rubbish horde left who can't do any damage. I've got Soul Reavers in the back, I suppose. That could have helped. Yeah. Don't know. Anyway, so the whites come in here and the horde just kind of sits there and says, right, you can send what you like at me. Then to allow the Soul Reavers to come in. Yeah. Yeah. And then whites just don't do what whites do. We do very poorly, actually. Oh, look, I have gone in. You know what I've done? I've surged. I've surged. I remember I got surge. I've got surge, guys. Morgul's here. I surged them. Not so bad at this game. Really bad at this game. Okay, honestly, I went through the slides beforehand. I just missed that bit. So anyway, the whites do not perform. Total of 6 wounds, which is under what you'd expect with a Bane Chant. I've got Surge here, so these guys have gone in, but again, we've done 4 wounds. It's not enough. Right, 4 wounds on 5s and 5s and 5s. So, yeah, poo. Wavered, okay, bring the pain. And then I do something horrific. And looking at it now, it causes me physical pain to look at it. And maybe you can see it. I think it's possibly because this giant model wasn't on the base, so I didn't really look at the base and where it was. So I moved my Soul Reavers up, ready to charge down. But look, this is a woods. This is the line of sight of the giant. You can absolutely see over everything because this is where the giant is. Again, I didn't see the base, not a problem, it's my fault. And it's a flank. So the giant can just merrily flank my Soul Reavers in the back line. And I was halfway through my turn. I'd rolled this combat and I looked down. I looked at my Soul Reavers and I looked at the giant and I looked at Richard and he looked at me and he had this, this lovely expression on his face. And he was obviously trying really hard not to look as gleeful as he felt. Like he was really trying hard to be super sympathetic. We're like, mate, you missed it. It's like, and my face was obviously kind of like, oh, maybe would I be all right if I just turn my unit? Like in my eyes, not saying it. And his eyes were kind of like, no. It was really bad. No, you can't. It's so painful to look at. Oh, man. Just like, this game was just mistake after mistake after mistake. So, yeah, that's the flank. There it is. A flank and a triple attack onto the horde. It's not looking great for the undead right now. Yeah, and he kills them instantly. They just explode into tiny vampire-sized pieces. And now I've got a giant looking into my back lines. Really think giants should be made so they actually fit on bases. Like, it's a fun model. It's way too freaking big. Turn 4. There's only turn 4, for God's sake. God. So yeah, off we crack. And look at that. So, for once, Siegebreakers don't do what Siegebreakers should do. And it's only 14 wounds onto my horde. They're okay. Oh, what's that? Is it the possibility of, a savior? So, I have a really lucky turn. So a really unlucky play followed by a really lucky dice, poor dice rolling from Richard. He's got just 2 bloody warlocks, drain lifing everything, and another Siegebreakers in reserve. So we're up to 12 wounds here. That's drain life of 6 wounds. Right, so only another 8 wounds from all of these attacks is crazy. Plus, my whites have not been hurt because this guy is wavered. So I now have a chance because these siege breakers are facing the wrong way. Their line of sight's like this, right? Whites fly over. Oh yes, because all that stuff being held up is superb. I now come over. Morgoth comes over, right? And we have got a Bane Charm and a Drain Life. So we Drain Life. Which ones do we Drain Life? I think we Drain Life the Warlock. I can't see these. Oh, maybe I Drain Life them. I think I Drain Life them. Followed by a Bane Charm. Or maybe I actually forget this turn. I do forget at some points to do 2 spells with him, which is stupid of me. The Warlord goes up to 11 wounds. Don't forget, he was on 7 wounds. So we've got Drain Life here and Drain Life from Morgoth, who hops over there. Getting up to 11. Still don't bloody kill him. You know why? Shambleclaws is rallying. So I waver the Warlord. Again, second turn in a row. Even worse. I don't kill the Regiment Chariots on the hill. Look at that. Only 7 wounds. So not only does Richard fluff his dice the turn before, I then fluff my dice. My whites, who at that point are crush 3, right? 18 attacks. I should be getting a minimum of 12 hits. And crush 3. So it's like 10, 11 wounds. And instead I do 6 or something stupid with Dread. Right? Plus, you've got a Warlord rallying and Shambleclaws rallying. So they're rallied twice. So at this point, this regiment is a 17-19. Only 7 wounds. Right? So with Dread, I need an 11 twice. I rolled an 11. And then I rolled something else. I think I rolled a 9. So I waver them. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. And these guys are still kind of like wandering over because it's just so slow. I can't quite get in. Yeah, so that's frustrating, isn't it? And the Horde, so this Horde, which was on so many wounds, right? It was on 14 wounds. So these guys get up to 7. Still fine. All the Drain Life, that, you know, it's going to heal everything back up again. And there's got a giant in the rear. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh, man. Yep, so Drain Life puts 6 wounds on them, heals it all off these guys. So all that effort back down to 1 wound. The giant kills my standard bearer, which is just mean, isn't it? And then obviously, so you know, it's a flank from Siege Breakers and Shambleclaws and Chariots into these guys. They're already on. How many wounds were they on? They're down to 10 wounds from their 14 because of all the Drain Life, but no, they die. They die. They die. So look at this, right? This is horrific. Really bad. So through misadventure, misplay, mispositioning, and bad dice, I've now got myself in this situation. I have my hand on my head. My head is in my hands, that's what I'm going to say. So there's 3 tokens here. There's 1 token here and there's 1 token here. I've got 2 tokens over there on a zombie. And here's the thing. I still don't give up because I still got a chance. This is how good Undead are now. I've still got a chance, right? So I've got Wraiths into this Warlord, right? Whites into here. If I kill them and then drop the tokens, so don't pick them up. He's got to pick them up with his Siege Breakers. Right? If I can drain life off this guys, kill these guys, then on turn 6 I've got a chance to do something special. So, here's what we do. Wraiths here, whites here. Yeah, drain life going. And then, guys, I just need to drain life these guys with enough, because this is not rallying anymore because he's not in combat. I need to drain life enough here to kill this regiment of chariots so they can't come in. Yeah, a waver here would be perfect for turn 6, because then I've got something to play with. And I don't know what was wrong with me. I know it wasn't particularly stressed out or anything. This was the only game when I wasn't rushed or anything like that. I just did something mind-bogglingly stupid. Right? I've got Drain Life 7 here and Drain Life 6 on my other guy over there. Yeah? I know that this is the unit I need to drain life off, or this unit, right? It doesn't matter which one I drain life. Morgoth has Dread And yet, I cast Mind Fog onto this unit instead of Drain Lifing. What on earth? And then I Bane Chant. What was I thinking? And I did it, and I looked at Richard and went, he's got dread. And Richard kind of, being very kind, kind of sort of shrugged and kind of went, haha. Because what can you say to that? What can you say? He has dread. There is no point in giving Shattering to this unit, which is the only thing Mind Fog would do. I've got Drain Life 7. What an idiot. What a stupid thing to do. I don't know. I just feel like an idiot. I'm losing horrifically, and I can still win, and I'm throwing away the chances that I've got. Turn 6. So yeah, what happened was, obviously forgot to Drain Life. Right, I did kill the Warlord with these guys. I did 2 wounds and then nothing, so no good roll on those guys. I got these up to 12, and I think I wavered them again. So they were at that point they were just a 16-18 rather than a 17-19, and I couldn't even roll the requisite 6 twice to kill them. I think I rolled a 4. A waver is good. That was what I wanted, wasn't it? Remember, waver was what I wanted. That was good. So if you think about it, yay! Because now these siege breakers are stuck, right? They can't see anything because they're absolutely huge. All he's got is warlocks, but not Drain Lifing them was just horrifically stupid of me. And no, there's no guarantee, right? They were on like 6 wounds. So Drain Life, what, 4s and 4s, 7s, another 2 would have put them on maybe 10, and I'd still had to have rolled an 8 twice to kill them. Preferably roll a 6 to waver them, so these siege breakers couldn't come in. Anyway, stop complaining about it. So yeah, so a flank there onto my whites. The giant came into these wraiths who've decided to come and play and get killed. And that's some Drain Life then, putting them back up to 8 wounds from wherever they were on before. I think they were on 2? 6. So another 2 points of Drain Life, and they just die. Explode into whitey pieces. Let down by their leader. And the Wraiths die. And here we are, right? So, at my turn 6, towards the end of the game, here's something extraordinary. I can still draw. Even having played this badly, as badly as I have. Right, remember these guys are dead. All I've got is zombies over there with 2 tokens. He's got 3 tokens on this wavered unit. Yeah? It's the end of turn 6. It's my turn to play for. He's got a token on his scouts over there, and a token on this siege breakers, and 3 tokens here. So, and these guys, 7 wounds and wavered. Right, so he didn't drop them. He can't drop them, do anything with it. If he was thinking about it, he should have dropped the tokens, backed them up, and picked up the tokens with the warlock. Instead, he kept them on this unit, which means that at my turn 6, if I kill this unit, I draw, which is completely unfair and absolutely not justified given how I've played. But I'm going for it, and of course, I don't. So, just a spoiler warning. I couldn't get my Lich King close enough because he doesn't fly anymore, right? So he lost that utility. He's totally stuck. So he had to come into these guys. So he puts them up to 9 here and wavers them, which is pointless. It's only points, isn't it, towards the end of the game? And then Morgoth actually remembers to Drain Life this time, and they go from 7 to 9. And I think I waver them again or something. I think I waver them. They don't die. But I had a chance, guys, at the end there. That's a blurry screenshot of death. There's my thumbs down. Boo! Thumbs down. I suck. That's how I feel about this whole tournament. I'm so bad. No, it's not. The tournament's excellent. The tournament was excellent. Really excellent. Really, really fun. Lovely, lovely people. There's some really nice people. I'm just so ashamed of how I played in this game. Just some really dumb things. I deployed stupidly. I had a couple of bad turns, and then just made some really dumb moves towards the end that really let me down. So anyway, that happens. So as I said to Richard, you absolutely deserve to win because I played like a donkey, but at least I get a good story out of it. And he was kind of like, yeah. I think Richard ended up finishing second. Tom Robinson, of course, finished first. And I was like 8th or something. Yeah. However, I think what this goes to show, so the long-running argument I've been having with my good friend Hong Win Soon is about Undead. And they're so good, guys. They're so good. They're so good that at the end of a game where I played horrifically and rolled tragically, I still could have drawn because they're so strong. They're so flexible. There's so much you can do. There's so many powerful hammers. They're both so fast and so maneuverable because of Surge. Just think what a fantastic army they are. I'm not going to play them much again because I'm kind of invested in some other armies, but I really enjoyed playing them. This is not my army. I don't even have an Undead army. I borrowed the miniatures. But I think the Mantic range for Undead is super, super fantastic. So a lot to play for. But yeah, really enjoyed the tournament. 3 great games despite me losing my shit in the last game. But yeah, good times. Hope you enjoyed this battle report and had a good laugh at me. I am back. So, I've got a friend coming around. We're going to film a game, live battle report, and I've not got tournament again until March. So you're relieved from tournament watching duties until then. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time on Death by Dragons. Bye bye.